I'm not supporting even hand in the law. You're trying to make it like it's there is an even issue here. I'm objecting to that. I can't accept this.
Daniel, I'd like your
Just
your
another
response.
sentence.
I
No
didn't
one
hear
should
any
react
defense of terror.
violently.
I didn't hear any defense of terror.
I heard. Sorry, I heard.
What did you hear?
For this next piece, because finally, arguably the most dangerous part of the current conflict with respect to Israel's character, Arab and Jewish mobs taking their frustrations and retaliations onto the streets of Israel and in the West Bank, lynching one another and burning Israeli cities.
We are not talking about any equality here. Arab mobs trying to murder Jews just because they're Jews. That's the situation in Israel.
I'm not going to pretend that there are more or even as many Jewish mobs, but there are Jewish mobs. We've seen them in Bat Yam.
No. I can't accept this. I can't accept this for various reasons. First, numbers by itself, if you want to talk, it's definitely not true. You're trying to make it like it's there is an even issue here. I'm objecting to that.
What I asked is, or rather, what I was suggesting is that you support an even hand of the law in interpreting mob behavior, whether it be Jewish or Arab.
No. I'm not supporting even hand in the law. There is one side here attacking Jews just because they're Jews. The state of Israel's sole purpose of existence is to defend Jews in their country.
I'm going to move on. Dan, I'd like your response. I'd like your response. Daniel, I'd like your response.
Just another sentence. In fact, the police in the situation when on Monday, when Jews were defending themselves, no one from the rioters who tried to slaughter Jews were arrested.
We know for a fact.
Defended them.
We know that that's not true. Dan, I'd like your response on this. Dan, I'd like your response.
Yeah, I think what member of Knesset Rochman, what we would like to hear from him, and I think what we should hold our police is the principle, not the comparing the numbers of who rioted and how violent they were. The principle that anyone in this country who breaks the law in a violent manner should be dealt with in an equal manner by the police. The very fact that there was such a fertile ground for such violence and for such rage shows we have a lot of work to do in our own society to better include our 20% Israeli Arab minority in our society.
All right, Rudy, how would you respond and how would you explain everything that's going on to people abroad? How would you characterize that for people who are watching abroad?
First of all, I think it's important for all of us to condemn the murder of anyone who's innocent. I don't think it's anti-Jewish to condemn when a Jew kills someone, whether another Jew or a non-Jew. And I don't think Israel was created only to defend Jews, definitely to defend Jews, but all of its citizens and all inhabitants of the land. That's actually Israel's responsibility. Back even when we had Judea, we had non-Jews living in our land, and we should protect every single one of the people living in our land, whether they're Palestinians, Druzim, Bedouin. We need to take a greater responsibility on this land, not only with more strength, but more humanity and humility for the peoples living here. In terms of why we're here, I mean, there have been tensions building up for a long time. We were living in a status quo for years where Israel's sort of schizophrenic with what it wants to do. It wants to bring people into Gush Katif. It wants to take people out of Gush Katif. It wants to build in Judea and Samaria. It wants to take people out of Judea and Samaria. It wants to talk about it as two-state. It doesn't want a two-state solution. And I think at the end of the day, most Israelis that are living with an Israeli citizenship are not necessarily suffering from the status quo, but a lot of Palestinians are. And so we ask ourselves, why are Israeli Arabs feeling the pressure to stand up for this? It's because that's their family. If we were living in a country as Jews, where we had equal rights, but our cousins, our own blood was suffering in that same land on the other side, we too would not be happy with the current situation. So I do think that the Israeli Arabs should be more included in society. I do think also that we need to take responsibility over Judea and Samaria and create a reality that will allow Palestinians to be able to have access of movement, access of resources, to be able to see this land and experience this land as their home. And also we need to be able to really create what we were supposed to create. I don't think we currently have a Jewish state. I think we have a Western state with Jewish decorations. I think we needed something more deeply Jewish. I think we need to be upfront with what we want, that Judea and Samaria, West Bank is a part of Israel, but that also the Palestinians that are a part of this land need to be a part of that civilization. And what is the solution? We have to stop thinking of what is the solution, because we're not going to impose a piece of paper onto everybody. When it's a process to get there. As long as this tension continues, medias are going to exploit that. And the information that Israeli Arabs are reading and hearing and listening is very different than Israeli Jews. And so, of course, when they're told that Jews are removing Palestinians from Sheikh Jarrah, Simon and Sadiq because they're Palestinians, which is false, they're going to react. Of course, when they're told that Al-Aqsa is being taken over by Israeli police, which is false, they're going to react. Of course, when they're told all these negative things that are happening in a perspective that makes Israel look bad, they're going to react as we would react to if something like that was happening to our communities. So we also have to have better relations between one another for us to understand the context of the situation, for us not to just react violently without knowing what's happening, but to use our energy and to use our fire to build and to transcend this conflict and to create something that's better.
Thank you.
Can I respond to what has been said?
Yeah, I'll give you a response. We're a bit over, so sorry.
I would say there is no question that anyone who acts unlawfully needs to be punished. But trying again, and what I've heard from Rudy especially, I heard a lot of justifications to acts of terror, to acts of violence. Of course, they would react. No one should react violently.
No, I didn't hear any defensive terror. I didn't hear any defensive terror.
I heard.
What did you hear?
We are here to defend the Jewish people, that the Jewish people will have a homeland.
I think we're here to do a lot more, and I don't think any of the panelists or the hosts are trying to excuse terror. Maybe that's what you misheard, but I recommend that you watch the tape because none of us said that.
All right, thank you very much. Rudy Rochman, Knesset member Simcha Rochman, and Major Dan Pfefferman, thank you all so much again.